Getting close to being ready here.
Just about ready?
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
We're good. Should, make it a question where we can count down as ready there. We're good? All right. Let's do it. I gotta.
Got 3 minutes. You don't have to. You don't Okay, then. If it's the same, then I don't know. Okay, yeah, legally. I think so. Give me 1 second. We got reading already ready to go. We're on the. Let me refresh. If that is. Not you got. No, sir.
All right. We're almost set here, guys, okay?
Hold on 1 second. Let me turn these on.
1 second.
Are these on?
I don't know.
There we go. That one. There we go.
Is it coming on? Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
All right, sir. Whenever we're ready.
Okay. All right, guys, I think we're good to go here. We, as you all saw, the internet here, people were getting there, but, anyways, we had number 1. Here's an old Ford Suzuki GSXR 600 model. All right, on that motorcycle, what's your pleasure? I got 17. How about half? How about 1750? You gonna go 50-50? Anybody else? How about 1750? 1750? And we sold it online for 1700. Okay. That's the way that'll work. Right, here's number 2. Here comes the 2013, but he's on all the car guys. I got down to go 3 4. On the 400, and the 400, the 400 times, bigger than about 6, 7 here, 8, where 9, 9. About 900 here, 9 down here, anyhow. I got a half of that. Now 9. Now 875, 9. How about 9 here, over now, half, and 75, gotta go 975.
75 I like.
Line there, pound sign. and 1,000 to go, 1,000 to go, and a quarter, half, now it's at 50, and now 11. How about 11, 10 and a half, yeah, 11. How about 11 here, now half, 11, 50, quarter, now half, what's 75? Now 12. How about 12 here, 12 and a half, give me 12. How about 12 now, quarter? How about 12 and a quarter, now half, 12, 15, gonna go 50, 50, 150, and about what? 75. Come on, let people, let's go. Oh, 75, 13. How about 13 and a quarter? And a quarter. Don't be late in the situation. Let's just get it on. Rock and roll. I got a quarter and a quarter here. 13, 50. How about 1350? You gotta go 50, 50, 13. How about 50? No, 75. So he's too late in the situation. 75, 14. How about 14? How about 14? You gonna get 14? How about 14? No, somewhere 10. 1375, this will be online bio data here, number 3. Here comes behind, you saw first off. All right, guys, so we're going on a minute, so we're going, what do you say here? I'm gonna there we go. Hey, about 5, 3, 4, 5. I got 5, 6, 6, 7. How about 7? You're gonna go 7, 6, 0, 8, 7, 7, 8, how about 650, 50 here, a quarter, 6 and a quarter down here, quarter, now half, and a half, 6 and a half, and a half, I got 625. How about 650, 50, 650, 50, 50, and 75, 75, 7. How about 7, 6, 75, sitting down, need 7. How about 7, we're gonna go 7, 7 and a quarter, online at 7, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and here, sort of thing, online. 4, 700 now. Here we go. 4. Here comes a 35. All right, 400 minutes. I got 5. And that one. I got 5. You want 5? I got 5 here. 6. I got 600. We go 600. 700. We need 800. And now we need half. How about half of the back and now we need 80 now half. We have about 50, 50 each down here. Half of them 9 now half. How about 150, 50, and $1,000 here, how about 1,000 to go, 1,000? And 1,000 to go, now half, now 11, now half, now 12, now half. How about 100 here, 12 right here, 12, 150, you gotta go 50, 50 now, 13, 13, not 50. How about 15, you gotta go 50, 50, I have 13 over here, 13 and a half right there, 14, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 15, 15, now half. I got 50, 150, 50, 50, 150, okay, 16 now. How about 117? What go 17, 17, how about 17? There we go. How about 17, 17? Here we have silver tank for 1650. He's got number 41, 41 reminder, 1650. Come on up. 65. Now, see, we get 35. Go to the bottom, you look behind the number 4. Find the bucks in that one. You gotta go find. I'm gonna find the player 3, 3 and a half. I got 3, you gotta go 50, 54. Now 50, you gotta go 50 and a 5, 56, here 50, where 6 and a half. And a half, 7, you gotta go 7 down right here, a half, 7 and a half. And 800 now, 50, 50, 50, I got 8 over there. 8 and a half, 8 and a half, no 9. But 9, you gotta go 9, 900, 9, 875. How about 875, 875, 875, 875, no 9, not quarter. And the quarter share, 9's over here. How about then the quarter? And the quarter goes all. How about then the quarter down here, quarter, no 9, 15, gotta go 50, 50 your turn. And 50, no 75, gotta go 975. How about 975, gotta go 975, 975, 75, here we have solar thing. 950, 950. So what you gonna 71, okay, come on up, please. 6, here comes the 2012. Okay, so we're going on that. I got time to go. We got a little bit right there. I see that. I'm about 5 bucks, 5 and a half. I got 5 and a half. And now 6. How about 6? Now half. 6, I'm about 57. We're going to go 700. How about 7? We're going to go 7 here. 675. 6 and a half. How about 675? 675. No 7, 700. We're going to go 7, 675. How about 7? How about seven, we're gonna go 77, sold him online for 675. All right, here go the next one, it's number 7. 14, only 14 dealer, I think it's on. I got the number go, 5, he said 3, I'll take 4.
775.
I got 775, it's even better, how about E?
8?
E and a half. How about a hundred and a quarter? How about quarter, 825, we're right here, are you ready? Are you ready? 825, is that a yes or no, I can't tell. No, okay, well, don't put your hand up there. 825, you got
I got 800 from Richard.
Okay, so the thing, $800, what about number 6, 65? Here's number 8, one, 14, 18. There you go, we could have found some bucks on that one. I got number there, find out about, you know, 5? I got number 6. How about say you give me half, who's in that 5? 5 and a half? I got 5 and a half, you're in that 5, 5 and a half, you're a quarter, and a half, and a half, and 175. How about 75 on site, 5 and a half? How about 75, and 6, 6, not quarter, and a quarter, 6 over here, how about 6 and a quarter? How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we have solar thing for $600, $600, so what you do? What else? It's 199, I think, one of these, it is supplier, all right, here we go, 9. There you go, with that $116 price. All right, so I'll be you got it, so you're gonna give me how much? 9? How about 900 bucks? How about, hey, sir, hey, you gotta come this way, come up here, okay? Hey, how about $500? How about how about a half on those 6? How about 6? And a half. How about a hundred, there you now, 7, we're gonna go 7, 7, 6 and a half, yeah, you 7. How about 7, we're gonna go 7, 7, now half. I got a half, now 8, and a half, and 9, and a half. 9 and a half, 9, yeah, I got 9 right here, and a half, in your quarters. How about 9, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, quarter, and a half. And a half, that's 75, 9, 75, 1,000, and a quarter, how about 50, and 50, 75. And 75 left, 1100, 11. How about 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, and a half. How about 100, 11 and 50, now 75, 11 and 75, 12 and another. And now a quarter, how about 12 and a quarter, and a half, and 50. And the 50, 75, here goes 75, now 13, 13 and a quarter. And a quarter, now 50, 50, here goes 50, 50, 50, how about 50, 75. And 75, 14. How about 14? 14, hey, watch me, I watch you. 14. How about 14? 4, is that a yes? Okay, and a quarter. And a quarter, 14, 50. And a 50, 75, 75, 15. And a half, here we have. And now 16. How about 16? Gonna be 16. How about 16? 16, 16, now half. And a half, now 17. How about 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 18. 18, we're gonna go 18. 18, so yes or no? 18, now half. I got a half, they got to 19. How about 19? We're gonna go 19. How about 19, 19, down here, 9 half, sort of thing. For 1850, put them on number 3, buyer. Here's number 10. Yes, sir. Here's 3, hey, we're gonna hold the court. Let's see here. Oh, that's right, it's under. Could be, huh? I got 3, 3 and a quarter. I got 4, 4 and a quarter, 4, 45. That's it, 4. 4, I'm sorry. I got 4, 4 and a quarter. Nope, so that's $200, number 6, already gone. Here's number 11. See if you like, get your hand up. Fine, huh? Hey, 800, how about 8, 2, 6, 3 and a quarter? How about 3 and a quarter, and a quarter, 325? I got 4, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. I got 100, 50, 50, I got 50, 50, okay, now 75. How about 5, give me 5, or 75 is on site, 85, now a quarter, now half. How about half, 550, right again. How about 550, 50, 550, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, here, no, silver thing. 5 and a quarter, look up on number 4, for the buyer, here's number 12, this one's another 5. Mitsubishi River guys, okay? Hey, How about $400? That's right. 4.5 and a half, and 6.5, and you got 6? Where you at? 6.5? How about quarter? How about 6.25 quarters and a half? 6.50, you gotta go 50, got your boot off. 6.5, money 6.25, 6.5, no, so the time. 6.25, we'll put on number 6, 13, 09, all right, here we go. Somebody gave me about 900. All right, he said 3.5. I got 4. That's even better. 4.5. I got 450 quarter short. 9.5. 450, 450, 450, 450, 450, and we saw the thing. 445. Hold on, number 6. All right, here's number 14. That's 18. All right, now here we go. Let's see what we have here. Already fine, it's an easy pitch. Right here over Thompson. How about time to go? Time to go. You want 5? How about 5? I got 11, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half. 11 and a half. 170 sequence. See, 1 time. That's 75. Right here. 11, 75, 12. Get 12 and a half. How about 12 and a half here? How about quarter? Now half. And a half. He's 12 and a quarter. How about 150, 50, 150, 50, right here, 175, 75, 13. How about 13, not quarter, 13, 25, you're gonna go 25. 13 the quarter, 13 and a half. How about 13, how about 50, you gotta go 50, 50, 75, you gotta go 75. 13, 75, 1400. How about 14, and a quarter? And a quarter, and a half. 14, how about 50, 75, you gotta go 75. 14, 75. And 75, 15, 15, 15. How about 15, 15, 15, and here's and a 15, and I saw the thing, 1475. And let's see, guys, which number would you like it on? 17, which number? You want number 50, okay? You guys got a couple of numbers. So here's number 50, here's the 99, here's the call. Somebody give about 800, they get about 3/4 half. 75 on the 400, on the 40 and a half, 450, and the 50, 75, 475, 75, 500, now 40, now a half, 5.5. How about 5.5, 75, you gotta go 575. 575, right down here. And where we go? I can't see. 6. I got 600, not quarter. How about 6.25? Where you get it back? 6. 6.25. 6.5. 675. How about 675? We're gonna go 675, 7. How about 7? You're gonna give me 7. Okay, we're gonna give 7, 7, not quarter, not quarter, not half, 750. And 50, 50, 57, 57, 57, and 75. Up at 75, eat, now a quarter, and a quarter, it's still going up. He's in the 8 and a quarter, 8.5, 850, which is one. 850, 50, 850, 850, 50, 50, here on my silver plan. 825, 825, here's that area number. Hold it over there, let's see what he has. He has 61. Right there, 61 around there, here comes 61. All right, now you run this guy, 30 down the charge. Here, this one. Now you're gonna give me, I didn't say here we go, see again. Here we go. How about 1,000? I got down to 35, I got 11, 11 and a half on the clock. And now 13, now half, now 14, now half, now 15 and a half. And 16, 2 grand, 20 and a half. And a half, I got 2,000. How about your number 50 online, 21, now half. How about 21 and a half? 21 and a half and no 2, now half. And a half and no 3, now half. How about a half again? 20, 30, 50, and now 4, now a half, now 5. And a half, 25 and a half, 175, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half. And 8 and a half, and 9, 29, gotta go 9, now a half, and 3 grand, 31. How about 31? One side of 3 grand, 31, 2, 3. How about 33? Money's 32, 33, 34, 34, 5. How about 35? 35, 36, now 7, you're gonna go 7 here, 37. How about 37 here, 36 on site, 37. How about 37 on the 7 here, silver pen, for 3,600. one number, each is the winner of that. Here we go, the next car, 17, 09, WGPI. So we can say, there's one the next year, okay, huh? Hey, who brought up one, ooh, look at that. They have that hand in the box, we said three and a quarter. It's five and a quarter. I got five and a quarter, half over here, 75, and say 600. I got seven and a half, it's even better, how about me? How about me, 75, eight and a quarter, 825, I have eight here, 8 and a quarter, up quarter half. Hey, I got that in the 75, and a quarter, 19, five and a half. How about a half, we got a half, now 75, and now 1,000. And a time to go, that way, return, 1,000. How about time to go, 1,000, not quarter, need 80% up. How about 10 and a quarter over here and a half? How about a half, 10 and a quarter right there. How about 10 and a half, you guys are all off. How about 1,050, 1,050, 75, down, 11 down, 11, 75, 11 right here. And now a quarter, 11 a quarter. A quarter, half, 11 and a half, 75. 1175, 11 and a half right here, 1175, 1175, 75, 75, 75, we have 75, 12, D12, how about 12? I got 1175, 12. How about 12, put it down there, 12, put it down there, here, 12, now a quarter, and a quarter. We'll put this first. I got 12, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half. I got a half on site, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half. You finish, let's go. How about 150, and I sold it right there. 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter. There's number. I'm sorry. 186. Okay, come on up, please. 186 is 13. I'm nice about a car. All right, guys, so you're going to get 900, but 900 bucks, 500 bucks. How about 5, 6, I'm 6, 7. How about 7 for 7? Now we $800 here. Now we 7 back and now we. Aha, now we. How about 8? What's it? 75. What we find? 8. Now for me now a half. Yeah, 850. You gotta go 50 now. 75, 900 not quarter. And that's over here, over here now, 75 now, 1,000 now, quarter. And I'm up to right there now, 75, right 75. 75, 1100 and a quarter. I'm a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, now 75, now 12, now a quarter. I'm a 12 and a quarter, and a quarter, 12 here, quarter, a quarter. How about 12 and a half, 15, I have 12 and a half, 75. 75, 13, 13 and a quarter, 13 and a row, 13 and a quarter. Now, we have 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 75. I'm a 75, I go 75, 75, 14, I'm a 14, your turn, 14, I'm a 14, you got 14? No, 14, now a quarter, now we got it, quarter, half, and a half, I have a quarter here, need a half. 1450, 50 now, 75, 15, I got 15, I go 15, 15, I'm a 15, and we have, now have 16, 6. How about 16? We're going to be 16, and we have now 17. How about 17? How about 17? Need 16. How about 17 and 17? How about 17 money? 17 and 17, how about 15, and I sold the pen for 1,700, and I forgot the number is. What number is it? 89, comes here. Okay, guys, so what about down the farm? How about 900 bucks? Time about in the country. I got 3 and a half of enough over 100 here, 74. I'm not 4, not quarter. I'm not quarter, for your own quarter. I'm not quarter here, no southern thing. That's 400, number 6 is 100 here. Those run guys, right? So recovery, $80 each time, what about 2 what about 4, not 5, I got 5, I did 6, now 7. How about 7, you're gonna give me 7, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, and 8 and a half, and 9. 9, and a half, and 1,000, and 1,000, now half, and a half, and 11, and a half, and 12, I'm not 12, not half, 13, half. I got a half, I got 13 here, the third row, 13 and a half, how about a quarter? How about 13 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we have quarter time. For 1,300, 1,300, that's 31, on it is tomorrow, okay? Here's the 21, here's the 25. There's some push card, that one's hanging right here, Thompson. I'm not trying to go in that one, he said 4.5. I got 4.5. I'm a quarter, now half. And a hundred and a quarter, half, not 75. How about 75? You're gonna go 75, 75 pounds, like I did in a quarter. And a quarter, quarter, how about a half, 75, you're gonna go 75. And 6, now a quarter, now a half, 6.5. And 75, and 700, now quarter. How about quarter, now a half, 75, you're gonna go 75. And me, 800, now quarter, 825, you're gonna go 25, 825, it's over there. How about it's a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, and I'm going to, time. 800, number 31, 851, here. Wait, and we saw, okay? Hey, you get 900. I'm not fine. Here, this is a that, that's all. How's it coming? 4.5, 4.25, 4.5, 75, 75, and a quarter. And a quarter and a half, and we 50, 50, 55 and a half, 75, 6, not quarter. And a quarter, I got 6, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half. I got a half on mine, now 75, 75, 7. How about 7, 2, 7, 3, 7, 7, 700. How about 7, 6, 7, 7, down here, and I have something, thanks. 675, number 8, the bottom, 675, number 8, the bottom, here's number 23, 99, 96, you got it, we have 800 here in the bottom. I'm not $400 on the CRV, he said 3 and a quarter. I got 4 and a quarter, 4.5, 75. Now, 500 and a quarter, and a half, 75, gonna go 75. And 600 pounds, 75 there, and 6 right there now, quarter. And a quarter, and a quarter, 600, 6 and a quarter, about quarter, and a half. I'm a half, 650, 650, all right down here, now 75, 75, 7. How about 7? Not bad. How about quarter, 7 and a quarter, guys, 7's over here. How about 7 and a quarter, there's a move off. How about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, a quarter, is that it is? Now half, now 75. How about 75, 75, 7.5 here, the red hat. How about 7, 75, we're gonna go 75, 75 here, 9.5, 7, right here. Or 750, 750. 38, 38 is 5.5. 4. Now there's a 98 on 4, that can put you guys. Automatic, what do you say? Hey, you're gonna give me about, oh my God.
600.
Easy fix, 6.5. How about 6.5, 7? How about 7, here, 7, here, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, quarter, and a half. How about 100 here, 50, 50 on site at 7 and a quarter? How about 750, you're gonna go 50, 50, left 50, left 50, and I, solar fan. 7 and a quarter, from number 4, here's, here's a 9, hey, if you're gonna put your start, guys, okay? What do you say, 1,000? How about down we go? Wait, so wait, color, good. I got 4.5 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. How about $500? You like 5.5. Are you ready? 5.5. I'm gonna have the back. Now 6. How about 6? 600? There's 10. Wow. 7. How about 7? On the phone. 6.5, 7. 675. 7. Not quarter. And a quarter, 7 and a quarter. Now 7.5. 75. How about 75, 75, 800, not quarter, 825. How about 25, 50, 850, 75, let's go 75. And 9, not quarter, 925. I have 9 here, I have a quarter, and a half, now 75. Now about 75,000, not quarter. How about quarter, not quarter, do it right, where's my half, I want some 50. And a 50, 10 and a quarter here, 10 and a half, not 75. How about 75, 11, 1100, 11, 20, 75, 11 and a quarter. How about 11 and a quarter, now 11 and 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, 11 and a quarter. How about 1150, you're gonna go 50, 50, 1150, MI, silver time. 1125 online, okay? Here's the old number 26. All right, guys, there it is. What do you do here now? Hey, shucks, for you. How much? 75, 7, not quarter. And a quarter and a half over here, 75, 75. How about 775? Only 7.5 inside. How about 775, 75? Now we 8, and a quarter. Back on side 8 and a quarter. How about quarter, 825, 825, and 825, and 825, and I sort of think. $800 to buy number 8. Here's our 27. We can have it here. All right, guys. It's a big one. Got some lines. 3,
What's it?
6, 7. How about 7, 6, 7 here to be half, quarter, half, 75, 7, now quarter. And the quarter, see, I put the structure right. 7 quarter, 7 half, 75, now 8. 800 greater 7, 75, 8, now quarter, now half. 8 and a half, easy 25, 850. 850, now 75, 900, 900, you gotta go 900, 900, I'm not 99, D9, 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 what do you say? And I said the fact. 875, look on feet. Number 28. Here comes the 2016. Sign it. How do you want to do it? Sign 135. Okay? Hey, starting out here. How about 2 grand? I'll get you to go. Nice try. How about 6 ounces? Too much. We said 600, 700, 800, 900, $1,000, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2 grand, 21, 22, 22, 23, 24. How about 400, 400 over here, not 5, not 6, 26, 27, 28, 89, 29, another. And 3 grand, 31, now 2, 32, 33. How about 33 and another, 34, we gotta go 4, 34. And 5, 35 and another, 36. How about 3600, I gotta go 36, he's 35 over here. How about 36, 36 and another, 600, 600 here, and I silver tank. For $3,500, just have to catch this one here. 197, 197 dollars, it's gonna come on up. 9 minutes. All right, let's see here. Here we have number 2904 on the private change, okay? All right, there it is. Hold on, the south side of guns. What do you say? Hey, what about that 800? How about $800? $500? How about 5, 6, 7? How about 7? Where do you have that? How about 6 and a half? How about 5, 6 and a half? How about 7, 700 right here in the half? At a half, now 8 and a half, way, 900, no 9. How about 9, 9, Charles, 9, 875, 875, 875, 9, 900, 9, 0, 9, 40, 9, half. How about a hand, 975 now, 1,000, and a quarter, and a hand, 1,050, 75 now, 11, 11, 11, what do you say, 75 now, 12. How about 12 there, 12 another? How about 12, 40, new 150, and now 75. How about 75, return, close 75, 13, 13, and a quarter. How about quarter, be a quarter, and a half, now 75. How about 75, 14. How about 14? What is it, 14? 14, it's 1375, 14. How about 14? Let's go with our solar tank. For 1375, on this side. Guys, what's the number here? Hey, Simba, let me see. I can't see Simba. 198, all right, you need to come on up, okay? All right, here we go, number 30. Here we go with an 034 F-150. All right, guys, nice work back there. Okay, but hey, right small, guys, give me 1,000. 5, 6, 7, 6 and a half, 7. I got 7 no half, 7 and a half, 8, 8 and a half. 8 and a half here, 8 over here, 850. And I 50 here, a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, and I saw the thing. $800 coming number 4. Here's number 22. Yeah. All right, here we go around. They're in the field. See, there we go. You got to see it in the corner. 85, 80,000, 11, 11, I got 22, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2, 22, 21, 29, 22. You gotta get to your two. And now, 23, now, 4, how about 25? How about 25 and how much do you have? 24 and a half, 25, 25 and a half, 50 now, 6 and a half, 26 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, and 82 and a half, and 9 and a half, how about a half, 29, 50 here, 3 grand, and 3, now 1, now 2, gotta get 2, 31, 32, 32, 33, 34, outside 33, I'm a 34, I'm gonna go 400, I'm gonna go 400, 34, 34, and 34, 5, 35, 6. I'm a 6, back on site, 35. I'm a 36. I'm a 36, and I'm 600, 600, 0, 9, 6, 7, 7, 7, not yet, 7, 8. I gotta go 8. 37 on 9, 38, 30, not yet, 38, 39, 4 grand, 4 grand, 4 grand, 41. 41. I got 4 grand here. 41, 41, down 100, 100 here. We have solar tank. 4,000 even. 4,000 even. Number 14. 14 is the swan years number 32. Yes, sir. 32. Here comes the 16 to oh my God. Take it runs, guys. So don't call run. $2 for the key charge, okay? Hey, here we go on this one. What do you say here? Who would have bet that 1,500, 1,000, 11, 12? How about 12, player, 12, player, 13, player, gonna go 13, 14, and 15, here now, 16, here, 16, 17, 17, 18, how about 18, 18, and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 on site, 18, 50, 50, right here, 19, 19 and a half, and 2, 2 grand, 2, and a half, 2,050, 41, and a half, and a half, 21 and a half, 22, 2 and a half. How about 22 and a half here, 3, 23 and a half, and a half. How about 23 and a half, 23 and a half, now 4, now half, 24 and a half, 25 and a half, and 25 and a half, 25 and a half, and like 8 minutes, so you gotta kind of gotta get the ball. 25, 50, 50, 56, 26. How about 26 and a half? And a half, 26 out of 50, 26 out of 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and I'm super fat. 2,600, 2,600. And his number is on the other side. There, number 20, number 20 is the line, okay? And we'll be looking for here's number 33. Here comes the 700 guy. Okay, so I'm showing here now. They would have been right here in Carlton. I got found here 4, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. I got 450, 50, 50, and 75, 75, 5, and we have enough, right? How about 500 numbers here, 5, not quarter. And that quarter here, he's a quarter now, half, how about 175? How about 75? You gotta go by 75. How many small half in the back? How about 175 here? And I say it, 600, not quarter. And a quarter here, 6 and a quarter, guys. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, just no quarter, not half, no 75. 675, and 7, and a quarter, and a half, 7 and a half, 75, 800, now a quarter, 825, there go 25, 825, 8 in the back. But 8 and a quarter, and a half, 8 and a half, 75, 875. How about 875, 875, 900, not quarter, and a quarter, 925, there go 25, 925. How about 9 and a quarter, down here, go towards the bottom. At $900, $900 for my number, let's see if we have that here. We're going to get these not being ready. 49 in the buyer, 49 in the buyer. Hey, 34, I'm set. Hey, we got to do some all the time. Somebody's table guy, saying we're gonna be here, thousand over here. I got thousand here, how about $500 on that one? Look, I had not said, and we're gonna be 607, 6.5, 7. How about 7, 106.5 there, and he said, how about 7, we're gonna go 7, 7, no higher, here, 50, 50, 40, no higher. 7, here, 50, 50, 50, we're gonna go 50 here, 75. How about 75, 890, the 8, quarter, and a half. 25, we have about 50, 50, not 75. About 75, 175, 8.5, 875, 875, 900. But remember, 9, 9, not over, 925, 925, 50. And that's 50, 50, we're going to go through that here. About 946, guys, about 950, 50, 50, 50, 50, are we done? Solar panel, 925, and the feet is wire, right? 35. No, I really find out, so you're going to be another one. I got down to go where, 5, not 5? Number 5. I got 4 all over the place. Would be 4.5, 5. I got 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5, and 7, 75, 7. How about 7, you're 7, I'm not 4, and a half, 7.5, 7.5. We should have time, right? 7.25, 7.5. How about a 15 or 75, 75, now 80, 800. How about the number, 800, 800, my quarter? How about quarter, and a half, 350, hit the quarters here, 3.5, 3.5. Now we 75. How about a 75, a 75, a 75, 75, here we have solar panel, 850, 850, so. Okay, number 20 tomorrow, right? Then we got up to 36, oh, 9. Your start, right? And I was telling you, it's okay. Oh my gosh. Text again. Here we go. Who put 1,000? 1,000. 4, 5. I got 5. That's even better. No 6. I do. How about 6? How about a half? We'll go 5.5. Pound here, 5.5 quarter. How about 5.25 quarter? That's 75. How about 75? 6, 600, not quarter. How about quarter? I have 6 over here, quarter here, here, 6.5. And 75, we're gonna go 75, 675, no 7, 7, not quarter. How about quarter, 7.25, guys, 7's over here. How about 7.25, and a quarter, and a quarter, right here, we have solar panel, 700, number 4, number 4. Number 37, that's now we follow, guys, okay. All right, so I decided here, guys, once again, $1,000. I got check my phone. How about 1,000? Who wants 4 grand? I got 700, 800, 900, $1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 13, 13, I got 12 here. How about 13? Now I got 13, 14. How about 14? Did you have? How about 13, 50, 13 to the back? How about 1300, 50, 50, 50 quarter? How about 40 quarter here in my solar? At $1,300, toast number 40. Right, we got number 38, which I did not. All right, guys, so here we go, $1,000. Numbers, good fine. I got 4, 4 and 4. How about 125? 1, 6, 75, 1, 6, 1 quarter and a half. See, of course, it's on the runs. 6.5. How about a half? 75, 6.5 on site. I do. How about 675? We will be fine. Now, 7 and a quarter. I have 7 here, need a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, the quarter, we fix that by 1. I got 7, 7 and a quarter, and a quarter here. Quarter, now high, 175. How about 75? We're going to go 75. Maybe tomorrow afternoon, I'm not sure. I got 700, 75, we have solar thing on site. For 750, number 4, yeah, here we got number 34. Here comes 83, 4, that's 150, guys. All right, here it is, somebody give you a nice work truck. We got about $100. How about $100? We should pay you 3.5, 4.5, and 5 here, 5, 75, 5. How about 5 here, 75, 5. We said, here's not in it, right? I got $500 on my solar tank. 475, number 6 is a wonder here. 40, here's that 2019, here's the pension card. All right, guys, here we go, we'll break all the way to next year. We come on. We got, 4.5. I got 450, he's on a half, a 5, 7.5, and 8.5, and 9.5, and a half, and 1,000, and a half, and 11. I'm at 11 right here, half, not 12. I got 12, 1.5, 13 and a half, go back and 14 and a half. And 15 right here, half, now 16. He's 15 and a half, 16, 16 and a half, 17, 17 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 19. How about 19? Mommy's 18 and a half, 19. Now half. How about a half? 19 and a half, 1, 2, 2,000 and a half. And a half, 2 times 50, gotta go 50, 50, gotta go 50, 50, 50, now pound, 50, 9, How about 21 and a half? Money is up front, 21. How about 21 and a half? 22, 22 and a half. How about 22 and a half? 22 here, got a half there, and now 3. How about 23 and a half? I got a half. I got 23. 3 and a half? 3 and a half?
Got him at 23?
Now 4? I got 23 and a half, sir. 24. I got 24? No, and a half. I got 24. 24 and a half. You guys are up. 24, 50. And up 50, up 50, up 50, and 9, 50, 25, 25, 25. Wake up. 25 on the line. Now half. How about now you move on? How about 25, 15, gonna go 50, 50, 25, 50, now 6. How about 6, 25 and a half up here. How about 27, 27, 26 and another.
26.
26 and a half. And a half, the peak first guy did. 26, 26 and a half. How about 26 out of 50, 57 thing? 2,600 dollars on the line, all right, now you go 31 the car, navigate to the car. Next, what are you saying? You need about 900. How about 900 bucks? 900 bucks. How about 5, 3, 3 and a quarter. Now 3 and a quarter. What about 3? 3 and a quarter half. How about 350, 52, 50, 350, 50, 350, 50, 50, so the thing. 325, put on the number 6. Buyer, number 42. Here comes the 110, for Ranger. Guys, say the Ranger runs, guys. See you later, guys. Okay, who behind you? I got 5 to go. 5 to go. You want 5? 1.5. 1,000. Half. Less. And a half. And 12. How about 12, 3, 4 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, so 2 grand. I got 2 grand, 21, 22, 22, 21 here, 22,
24.
24, 25, a half, and a half, and a half, and 6, and a half, and 7, and 7, and a half, and 8, 28, and a half, and 9, and 9, on site, 20 and a half, 29, and a half. And a half, and 3 grand. But 3, you gotta get 3 grand, 31, 31, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 35, 35, 34, it's over here, 35, 6, 7, 37, 38. How about 38, 1 is 37, 38, 8, 9, 39, 4 grand. How about 4, you gotta get 4 grand, you gotta get 4, not 1, 41, 41 and above, 42, back on site, 41. 42. How about 42? 2, you're going to 3, we'll get 3, 4, the 4, the 4, 43. 44. How about 44 remember? 44? Solar time. You got 44? 45? You stuck in 44. So the computer controls it. 44. 45? 45? 46? 45, 46. 15 first, it's your turn. 45, 46. 46. Solar tank, 4,500, $4,500, okay? What's your number there? 61, okay, 61 divided, there we go, here's number 43, all 19. Everything else, John, 1,500, okay? Hey, somebody give me about, how much, 2 grand? 2 grand, 24, 25, I got a half, not 5. I got 25 with that half, 25, 15, no 6, not 50, no 7, not 50. And up 15, now we 8, now 15, go 28, 15, now 29 and a half. 3 grand, 31, 32, 32, 33, he's 32, 33, 45, 35, 6. How about 6, onside 35, 36. How about 6, 7, 37, can't sing, 37, 38. How about 8, 9, 39, you're 39, now 4 grand, 41. How about 41, 42, 41. How about 41, 41, 42, 43. I have 42 on site, 43. How about 43, 3, down 4, 44, you're 3, now 5. And 5, 45, 144. Take this one. How about 45 here, 45 to the other 5, and 6, 46. And 6, right over there, now 7. And 7, new money here, 46, 47. How about 47 numbers, and I have 7, 8, 48, sir. At 48, minus 47, 47, 48, 49, he's 48, 49. I don't know about poker table, can't pay cash. 49? How about 49? I'm gonna go 9 here, and I'm silver turn right there. At 4 pounds, at 800 dollars, and there's 174. I really can't see it. 44, there's a 20 down, sitting card. So I was trying to answer, what do you say? I got time to go, 5 to go. So here's your 5, he said 4, 4 and a quarter, half, 450. I'm up at 50 for the hotel, 450, 50, 75, now 5. You want 5, here you go, quarter, then a quarter, give me a quarter. I got time on mine, quarter here, now half. How about a half, 5, 50, 50, each, half, now that's how you find. Now 6. How about 600. How about 600, 605, 75 is over here, you want 6, are you ready? About 600 here in the solar plant. For 575, and let's see which number it is today. Is 197, 197 is tomorrow. Gosh, Malibu. And I got it, give me 9, how about 5 bucks? She said 3, 4, 5, 5, a half, quarter, okay, half, 75. How about 75, 475, 4.5. 475, 500, not 5. How about 500, not 5, not 5, not 40, not 40, 525, 5 here, not quarter here, 5.5. I got a half, I got a quarter of 5. How about 50, 50, you go 50, not 50, here, now 75, not 6, 6, not quarter. How about quarter? I have 6 here, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, yes or no? How about 6 and a quarter, then quarter thing. 600 number, 600 number 646 is a 97 to the camera card. All right, we're going to go around, so we're going to go $100. He said 3, wow. How about 3 and a quarter? Now, half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. I got a half, 75 to the back and up, 100 and a quarter. Okay, here's your half, 5 and a half, 175, and 6 and a quarter. And a quarter, 6 and a quarter, now a half, 650, 650, 50, makes it both up. How about 650, 50, 650, 50, and I. Solar tank, 625, back in the corner, it's already gone, solar. Okay, these guys are talking, I'm sorry, close to it. 121, thank you, 121. Right here, there's a 25. Keep hey, you want 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about 9 here? 9 to the 9, but 9, he's 8, he's 9. Did we have? A quarter. Got a half? That's 75. How about 75? 8 and a half, 875, 875. How about 875? Gonna go 875, 75 here in our solar tank. 850 for number 8. Here's for number 48. That's all we call it. All right, so we try to hear this one, then let's see here. How about time to go? Time to go. How about $500? 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6. How about 6? I got 5.5 already. Here's 6. 75. Okay, fine. Now 6. How about 6? 6. How about 7? 600. My 46, only 5. 6 to bed. How about six and a quarter, six and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, and I seven. That's 600 on, here we go. 49, that's an all four, so we're up. Oh, I think that is, there it is, so I was saying, what do you say here? All right, what about, I got down to go, five to go, you want five? Six, seven, eight, how many here, a half, and a week, and a half, and a nine, and a half, and a half, and a thousand, no half. I got a hand here, 1100, no hand, 1150, and 100 now, 50, you gotta go 50, 50, 50 minutes. How about 12 and a half, 13, no half. How about a half, 13, 50, 50, so we did, 13 and a half. How about a quarter, and a quarter, down here, and I'm sort of thing. 1300, for the number 8, is higher, 50, here's a 11, very fine gun, how about a hundred gun? How about seven, eight, how about 8, 9? One time ago, one time ago, not that. Yeah, he said, yeah. How about a thousand, 50, 50 here, 50, 50, 50 here, quarter and a half, no 75, and a thousand 75, and a half, and 75. How about 75, 75, and I have solar tank. 1,050, number 8 is liar. On 6, we got that car, so I was like that. I mean, how much? You want four? Four, fine. How about five? I already have four. Leave five. We're going up, not down. Quarter, half. How about a half? Four and a half, four and a quarter, four and a half. I got 450 right here, and that's 75, not five, 500, not five, not quarter. On line at five and a quarter. How about five and a quarter, and a quarter right here, and that's 50, 50, you got a quarter? Give me half, five and a half, 75, now six. How about six, and five, 75, take six. How about 600? 600, okay. How about 600, 600, right here, not quarter, 625. How about 25, but a half, 650, quarter, and a half, how about 650, 50, 650, get about worse. How about 650, the summer thing right here, for 625, what's the number, 35, I'd be looking for the window there, number 52, we had that 328, I guess, here. Already found somebody get by 800, 800, four and a half times, 75, 5, about 5, 175, 85, 1 solar tank. 475, number 6 is longer, here's 53, and 6 here, 325. I didn't even leave about 800, and I'm not leaving about. I'm gonna have four. I got from one half and 6.5 and 7.5 and 8. How about 8.5, about a half, no 9, we're going to 100. How about 9, 8.5 right here, I need 9 right here, now half, and a thousand. How about 1,000, 1,000 to go, 975. 975, now 1,000, 1,000 and a quarter. And a quarter here, I got 1,000 right there. I'm up there, the quarter, down here, down here, and I saw that. Oh, I'm $1,000, so it's pretty high, right? 41, 40 is long, number 54, number 21, and these are all. It is 8,900, 831. Bucks, $500, he said, there's 195, how about have six? How about six? I have 5.5, you're gonna do six, 75, you want six. I have six, now quarter, Jones, quarter, huh? How about a half, 6 out of the 50, these are 50 here, no 75, we're gonna go 75. I have 6.5, 675, no seven. How about 7.25, how about 7.25, and a half, 7.5. He's a quarter, and a half, no 75, now 800, not quarter, 825, 50, 50. Hey, how about 50, 50, 825, Hey, how about 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and now 75. 875, and 9. How about 9, not quarter, a quarter, now half. 1.5, he's showing the quarter right here. How about 950, 950, 50, 50, 950, and 9. Silver tank for $9.25, and catch his number there, number 198, he'll come on up there. Number 55, there's a one, he said, all right, now, so here we go, somebody give up 600. How about, two and a quarter, two and a half, 75, three. 216. I got three, not quarter, I got three up there, three and a quarter, okay, got a half. I got a half, I got three and a quarter, got a half here, 75, and what? I'm not four, you four, I'm not four, you four, you five, 50, 150, what do you say? How about 50, not 75, not 500. How about $5, go 5, be 5, be 5. How about $5, and not quarter, I go only 5 on site, and a half. Five and quarters, 5.5, 550, and the 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, and we, silver tank, for 525 in the back there. That's his number. That's number 40, the bottom. There we go. Hey, so, other side of here, guys, you think? How about these in the box? I got four and a quarter. I got 4 pounds, I'm gonna go 20 pounds, but I'm four. How about 24, 50, 50, 450, what do you say? 4 and a quarter, 450, nothing. 75. How about 475, you're gonna go 75, that's 475, 75, and we sold it back. That's 450, number 60 is a buyer, and here we have 57, that's a 21. That's a decent rush, and they get up to 21. 55. How about $5? Three and a quarter. I got three and a quarter, half. 3.5. I got a half of 75, 4 and a quarter, 25.50. And the 50, 75, we go 75, 275, 500, not 5. And a quarter?
I got 5.
You got 5. 5 and a quarter, 5.5. I have a quarter here on one. 5.5. 550, you're gonna go 50, no, sold it, 31, sold.
5 and a quarter, number 6.
5 and a quarter, 6, I see you, wait too long. All right, guys, you should say sold, it's on. All right, here we go, here's number 50. Number 58, let's see what we have here. We have a 84. All right, guys, we put about 900. How about $9? $9, you want 5? We said 3 and a quarter. 375, 4, now half, a quarter, half. And 75. How about 75, not 5, not 40, no half. Didn't forget to put the pumper back in. I got 5.5, each 5 and a quarter. A half, 75, 6. How about 600? How about 600? 600, you're gonna go 600, you say, not quarter, not half. How about a half? 6 and a quarter is over here, 650, we're on site now. How about 6.5, 650, now 75, 75, 6.5, 675, 675. One more? You saying one? I'm saying sold. That's 6.5 on the line. Well, here we go, number 59. Already fine, guys, we almost 600. 4, 4. How about 4? We're gonna go 5.5, quarter then. How about 5 quarter and a half, 75, 86 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter and a half, 6 and a quarter. How about 650, not 75. And now 7 here and a quarter. And a quarter and a half, 750, there we go 50, not 75. So it's ready to go. 75, 7.5, 75 each, 800. How about 800? But 800, yes, now quarter, 25, which money, about a quarter, now half. How about half? 850, and now 875, gonna go 875, 8.5, 875, 875, and a quarter, and a quarter, 9 0, use a quarter, 925, what do you say? Don't forget, put the top up and see. I got 9 here, go to summer thing. At $900, here's number 16, here's number 2, how about I'm a pound, I got 3.25, 75, 4, not 12. I'm a quarter here, quarter, right here, you want a half? and 75, and 5, 500, now 5, now quarter, now half. How about 5 and a half, 50, now 75, get it for 75, 5 and a half. How about 575, 75, 600. How about $600, 600, I get it for $600 here in a quarter. And I fold it in a half, how about 650, 50, 650, 625, 6 and a half, that's 75, and 6. How about 7, a little bit 700? How about 7, a little bit 7, a little bit 7 here, 9 and a half, something thing, 675, number 49, 49 more. Right, it's number 64, we're going to do 25. One. Oh, he's only getting 300. How about 3 and a quarter? How about 6, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half? How about 650? Now 75, no 7. How about 7? Give me 7. How about 7? 675, 7. How about 7? You gotta go 7. You gotta go 77 and a quarter and a half. And a half, up on site, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half, now 75, now 8, 800. How about 800 and a quarter, 845, 8 here, quarter and a half. Eight, how about 50, 50, meter, how about 50, 50, meter, how about 50 now, 75, 9. How about 9, 900, how about 9, not quarter, not quarter, and a half. I gotta have 950, he's 925. How about 950, 50, 950, and I have somewhere between 925 and the eat is 5, 62. And no free, you pay it, right? This is what I'm talking about. I'm a pound go, you know how? I got pound, it's a 7, half, and 800 and a half. Got a half, a line, whatever line here, 8 and a half years, you tell me. I'm a line, 875, 875, 875, and we have silver tank. 850, and he wants, I think, number 52. Well, 52? 52? Okay, 52 divided, that's sorry, guys, thank you very much. Don't forget Tuesday, next week is our auction, right? Tuesday, not Thursday, Tuesday, next week, okay? Thank you very much.
They were together. They bid. It was at 8. Oh, did you? Oh, right.
Ready to go on Tuesday?